Hey folks, welcome back to Skyward Sword. We are here in the Sky Keep, and we just collected the first part of the Triforce, the Triforce of Courage. And, you might have noted I didn't make a whole lot of fanfare out of it, and the game didn't really make a whole lot of fanfare out of it. It's a little weird. The Triforce has been built up throughout the entire series as a really big deal. And now we're just kind of collecting 3 of them like they're trinkets. It's weird. I mean, they didn't even get their own special fanfare. It's weird. Anyway, the whole puzzle of the dungeon, you remember this rearranging rooms business, has actually basically been trivialized at this point. Because all the transportation that we need to do from this point on can actually be done by rotating the rooms around this central room, either clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever you prefer. And everything will line up absolutely nicely and perfectly. If you're not following a walkthrough, there's no way in hell you'll get it to work out that nicely, but I am, so it worked out. Anyway, we are now in the Fire Sanctuary room, and indeed the room for the Triforce of Power. There is a decent amount of logic behind which rooms the pieces of Triforce are associated with. Ferror is associated with Courage and is also associated with Pharaon, clearly. So she would be in the forest area. Eldin associated with Yin, who's associated with power. And then, as you will see, Lanayru associated with Nehru, and hers is in a Lanayru area. Anyway, the Fire Sanctuary puzzle of sorts is basically, hi there, let's reuse this drifting lava idea that we used a little bit, and make it even more thrilling. Basically, the idea is that we are drifting along, but we will need to accomplish certain goals elsewhere in order to make the next platform appear for us. So here, we need to get the lava flowing on the next aisle over, and then ready a platform over there in time for us to get on it before this one crashes into the wall and sends us to our fiery doom. Generally, it's pretty slow-paced and doable. It's more of a confusion of what exactly do I need to accomplish. You'll never be in a rush to actually accomplish it if you know what to do. Only things that might get a little annoying are if enemies get in your way, like those keys. But those were decent enough, not really worth worrying about. There, just get rid of it so you don't plunge into a waterfall of lava fall. And now just wait. It's kind of the downside with puzzles like this. You have to wait for things to get done, even once you've accomplished what you need to accomplish. If the platforms moved at a slightly faster pace, I think everything would benefit. It would be a little more hectic, and you would have to accomplish your goals quickly, and you'd be a little panicked and stressed, and you wouldn't have to wait as long once you actually accomplish it. There's a shortcut back to the beginning of the room, if you so desire. And here, it's a good idea to scout ahead with Mr. Bug and see what you can accomplish and what you might need to get done before you actually get yourself on a platform. Because once you're on the platform, it's a ticking time bomb. Here, we needed to activate the lava flow on that side in order to make platforms obviously flow and move. And as you saw by that visual cue, that stopped the lava flow on the other side, which is important. Keep it in mind. Here's dick move. Curse keys. Curse keys here are especially nasty, because in order to actually progress here, you need to be able to use your items. So if you get cursed, you won't be able to use your items, you won't be able to create those platforms, and you will just plunge straight into the lava, and you just be waiting for the platform to run into the wall, and just know that your imminent doom is coming. Sorry, that was a little doomsday-ish. Anyway, coming up next, we have this platform here. Luckily, the platforms are forgiving enough that you don't need to actually time how your platform is going to flow and when it will arrive. Also, you need to get that flowing. you will need to hop onto that raising platform, right? Ooh, rupees. And it's flexible enough that you can just kind of wait around, and you won't be screwed over by the timing gods. See. Anyway, here you will want to, first off, grab that silver rupee. It's worth 100. I don't care if I'm not actually going to buy anything for the rest of the game. I want it. Then secondly, just hit that switch. This up and down platform is completely safe, so no need to panic. Just scout around, see what you need to accomplish. With puzzles like this, it's good to figure out what your safe spots are. Anyway, good idea to create the platform as you're about to go up. You don't want it to be already flowing away by the time you get up there, and you don't want to have it only in the middle of forming when you're jumping down. Both of those would be rather unsavory options. Anyway, last but not least, we have some curse frogs. These guys can't actually do anything to you, because as far as I remember, you don't actually need to use any items from this point on to get through. So they'll just curse you and be annoying. Of course, I'm out of bombs, so I have to resort to using the Skyward Strike. Oh wait, no, I take that back. You do need the claw shots here. So take them out with Skyward Strike, or just kind of craftily avoid. Put your shield up, if anything. Pretty easy, pretty low-key. Anyway, for making our way through that lava, we have demonstrated our power. So we get the Triforce of Power. No, it doesn't make any sense. There was a little bit of consistency with the Triforce of Courage going through a zombie-infested dungeon of like skeletons and horrible things. Makes sense that you would need courage to get through that. And the Triforce of Wisdom is guarded by probably one of the most interesting puzzles in the game. Here, there's no real association between what you do and power. People made the same complaint about the Silent Realms, how all of them are the same task, even though you're supposed to be demonstrating different qualities. Here, kind of the same issue, except it's mostly just with power. I mean, you can make the argument that lava is a powerful thing, but that's not thematic. That's too literal. Anyway, now that we've gotten 2 of the 3 Triforces, we can head back to the control panel and do a little more rotation. We are aiming for that blue spot there, and it just so happens that, I don't know if that was the most efficient way. I don't know if counterclockwise or clockwise would be better. But it just so happens that the tiles happen to line up, that you will be able to create a very nice, easy path to it. Like so. Sorry, got a little carried away there. Yeah, just do that. And we've already navigated all the rooms involved, so we have shortcuts to all of the exits. And that means we can just run along and go straight to the Triforce of Wisdom room. Very convenient. It's what I like about the dungeon. You don't have to do anything more than once. So you're reminded of the different areas, but you don't have to go through anything strenuous and annoying. Hey, look, it's the intro room. It's a shame that this is the only place where the Skykeep theme plays, because it's a really great theme. Highly recommend looking it up. And here we are in the sand ship area. There's no real ship involved, but there's sand. Anyway, we need to get to that pad right there. And there are a couple things we'll need to accomplish in order to get there. Yes, Fee, I realize that there's a puzzle. Give me a time shift orb, I assume that there's a puzzle. Pretty clear. Arrows, you will need arrows. Alright, so basically the way to the Nehru pad, Wisdom pad, whatever, is blocked by a little barrier. And the barrier deactivates in the past. It's one of those weird grating mesh things. So we will need to have the orb over there in this general area in order to deactivate the barrier, but we will also need to lift up those bars that were blocking the claw shot target. In order to lift up those bars, we will need to activate a switch. In order to activate that switch, we will need to activate a different switch. It's a little confusing, a little weird. Here, we want to hit that arrow switch, right? But if we're not careful about where the time shift orb is, it will activate a bunch of platforms that raise up and prevent us from shooting it, because they'll be in the way. So we gotta carefully position the time shift orb, and then run all the way over here, and get a good shot at it. That's kind of what I really like about the time shift orbs, is that you can have little kind of finicky puzzles like that. You gotta be actually pretty precise and think about what you're doing, rather than having very obvious spots where they go. Anyway, by opening up, by shooting that thing with an arrow, we open up this passageway. And in this passageway we have, guess what? More Deku Babas. I'm not gonna let go of the fact that these were literally the first things we found down on the ground, and they're still relevant enemies. God. Oh, and there's a golden one. I think he was trying to eat the orb there, but he can't eat orbs. Anyway, the thing here, you can see there's a switch. And this switch opens up that switch. But, as you can see, there's a fan that gets in our way there, and if this is in the past, there are huge pillars in our way that prevent us from shooting. So we need to craftily move the time shift orb away to make sure that's not blocking anything. And then we got a clear shot over to the arrow switch, right over there. And that opens up those bars. So I really like that puzzle, because it's one of those that are actually multi-step. So you see what you need to accomplish, you figure out what you need to accomplish that, and then you need to figure out what you need to accomplish that. I'm using the word accomplish a lot in this episode, I've noticed. Anyway, now that we've done that, we can hop on over here. We need to make sure that it's properly positioned to get rid of that gate. Or whatever you would call it, a barrier, I don't know. And there you go. And that takes care of the last room of the dungeon, and we are on our way to collecting the last piece of the Triforce. Wasn't that fun? And with that, we have the entire Triforce, all 3 pieces. We are now basically gods on Earth. It's pretty sweet. Man, I'm not sure how I feel about wishing for complete destruction and annihilation. You're so violent, Fee.
Hey guys, what's going on up here? Oh, goodness gracious!
Well, that solves that mystery. The temple up in the sky conveniently fits down into the sealed temple down here. As if it couldn't be assumed already, these were once one in the same. And that's it. We destroyed Demise. Got the Triforce. The little munchkin imprisoned dude is crushed under a giant temple. Destroyed Demise with the most powerful force on Earth. And, in just a few minutes, Zelda's gonna wake up. I think we did a pretty good job. Let's get going, Link. You've earned it. Thought it was over, didn't you? Hey, there's one last thing we didn't take care of. So sorry. What do you mean he has telekinesis now? That's cheating. You're gonna regret that, Yurheen. You've regretted it 3 times in the past. You're gonna regret it now. Well, this is problematic.